Hey everybody, welcome to the Insta-Good Show. I'm Seth, and just like this says, you can reach me at Seth Muse on Instagram or at sethmuse.com. Glad to come to you today for the Insta-Good Show, where we help you and your church get Insta-Good at Instagram. Now, I'm super excited. You may notice my camera's a little better, so pretty pumped about that. Got a new DSLR, and Canon just released this really sweet patch that you can just download, and it automatically works with your camera now. So you just plug in USB. You don't need any extra equipment or anything. It's a little complicated to download, but as you can tell, makes a huge difference. Totally worth it. Figure it out. So hopefully nothing glitches and goes crazy and falls apart during this show. And I hope that you can hear me and everything is great. Okay. So today I have a quick presentation I want to get to, but first, anybody else feeling a little bit, feeling down? Got to be honest, man. It's been a beatdown of a situation in the last couple of months. And I know that you're all tired, and we're looking at social media a lot, and we're all just kind of overstimulated when it comes to both positive and negativity, especially negativity. So I wanted to brighten your day a little bit and let you know that we're all feeling the same way. But I found this video and I laughed so hard at this because the caption on it was video testimony of how our 2020 is going. Check this out.
I love you. I love you.
Oh my gosh. Totally right. Oh, that's how we feel, man. That is how a lot of people feel right now. I know it. I feel that way. Whew. It's one of these moments where you're like, thank God for TikTok, and some of the ridiculous things you can find there. Man, wow, that's so funny. Okay, so today I just wanted to go through a couple of slides that I actually made for you, because I think we're overthinking social media. We're overthinking Instagram and kind of the content side of it. And instead I want to look at how social media really does fit into the overall strategy for communication. So we're going to jump into some of this. I will share my screen and we'll get moving. And then I got some things I want to say at the end here. All right, so check this out. Overthinking, the overinflated role of social media. Right. Okay, so here's something that I wanted to share with you. At the last church I worked at, which was a large church, 8,000 or so people there, 4 campuses. I had 5 people on my team. Big deal, right? It's kind of a big deal. It's a huge operation, a lot of things going on. And here's what I can tell you about our social media. If it will allow me to select it. Here we go. It's just going to be sluggish today. It's just not going to work, is it? Oh my gosh. All right, let's go back. I'm presenting with Canva. Oh, see, it's already jumping around. This may not work. Good Lord. Technology is awesome. One click. Here it is. 21% of my church's overall web traffic came from social media. That's what I wanted to share with you. 21%. That's it. Out of all the things that we had going on, the only thing that brought our website traffic was from social media. Oh, sorry, I should say from social media. We only got 21% of traffic coming from Facebook or Instagram. And we had a pretty healthy situation going on over there. Pretty healthy. We posted every day. We asked them to do things. I mean, there was a lot going on. And, we have a very involved church. Our church was super active on Facebook. Our comments and everything I think we averaged 3 or 4 comments per post. At least, and that's average. So that wasn't bad. But only 21% of our overall web traffic actually came from social media. And that's something to consider because we put a lot of time and effort into it. This tells me that what happens on Insta stays on Insta. Kind of people really they don't want to click away. And so when we're asking people to click away from our Instagram account, like go check things out, and even on Facebook, go check something else out over here, they don't really want to do that. They really don't want to leave the platform they're on. They want to stay here and surf. They're not really interested in leaving it to go do something else. They're here for Instagram stuff. They're here for Facebook stuff, whatever. So that's something to consider whenever you are thinking about the content that you create for social media. Let's move on. So how does Instagram and social media fit in? It's part of a system. And that's what we have to understand. It's just one of the ways that people are actually interacting with your church in overall. It's just one way. And when you think about Instagram, it's even smaller. So there's a lot of ways that people are going to interact with your church. And yet we spend hours of time figuring out social media strategy, creating these perfect graphics, perfect videos, perfect everything. And they expire in about 24 hours and they're done. I'm not saying you shouldn't care about that stuff, but I am saying spend a proportional amount of time that represents how much this actually affects your total overall strategy. So we're going to look at the overall strategy here. I have some suggestions for you on what we should maybe do. First, we have to define its purpose. And by it, I mean Instagram, social media in general. Who are you aiming at, and what do you want them to do? Like, what do you want them to even do when they interact with your church on social media? So if somebody shows up on your Instagram account, maybe it's one of your people, maybe you're aiming at your own people, that's fine. Maybe you're aiming at new people, which is kind of pointless if you're not paying for it. But if you are, more power to you. But if you're aiming at someone, probably your own people, you want them to share it. You want them to comment. You want them to DM you. You want them to go to your link in your bio. What do you want them to do? Like, what is the actual action you hope they get? Other than just, I saw it and liked it. Tip, tap. Doing tap, tap is so easy. Like, that really doesn't mean much. You can get a bunch of likes and have really poor content. That people just are like, I like this because I like how it looked, but it didn't change their life. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really motivate them or move them to do anything. So learn to define the purpose. What do you want them to do? And then learn to measure it. So you've got to learn how to measure what it is you're trying to get them to do. How many profile visits did you get? Which type of content got the most visits to the profile? How many DMs did you get off of this particular piece of content? Instagram Insights will tell you all of that. It's a simple look. Now, you can also set up a dashboard and set up the API and get it to pull it in and do all that complicated stuff if you want to. Or you can just open up Instagram and look every Friday and maybe write it down or put it in a spreadsheet. It's really easy to do. It just takes about 20 minutes of your time to chart what's going on with your Instagram and see if you're actually doing what you think you're doing. And if you're not, that allows you the opportunity to change things. So learn to define the purpose and then learn to measure it. So for example, I'm gonna give you an example of a workflow that helps you kind of see. Now, I didn't have time. I made this whole presentation literally 30 minutes ago because this kind of stuff is so easy. I made it in Canva. Now, obviously we had issues presenting. I probably should have downloaded this, put it in another format or whatever, and just presented it because Canva is not really the same as PowerPoint, and we're relying on the internet here for a lot of things. So bandwidth. So here's an example workflow. Let's say a person interacts with you on social media, Instagram. What do you want them to do? Let's say you want them to go to your profile. So they go to your profile. From there, you really have two things they could possibly do. All right. They could click your link, or they could DM you. So let's say first thing you want them to do is click your link. I didn't break it out like it is in the photo here. So just follow me here. They click your link. And then next, the link takes them to a landing page that offers them something of value. So if you don't have a specific page set up on your website or use one of those link in bio kind of features or whatever, at least, then you're missing a lot of opportunity with your profile link. If it just goes to your website, they're going to interact with your homepage. Where are they going? So make sure that you've got a dedicated workflow. Like when they go to the profile, here's why they're going there and here's what they're going to get. Take them to a landing page, take them to a page of a bunch of links, and that first link on that page needs to be the thing of value, whether that's, you're offering a free PDF or a video to watch or a sign up for something, whatever you're promoting at the time, whatever it is that's most important to you, put it at the top of that page. Your link never really has to change, right? You can keep the same link. It's just you keep rearranging the page depending on what's going on the back end. And so now you're offering people to go to this link and get what the value is perceived from your post, right? Now, here's what you don't want to do. Don't make it a buffet. You don't want everything out on the table, sitting there all day, because that really is a Vegas reference. It's cheap. It's like it's a cheap buffet in Vegas is kind of a thing, like $2 and you can have a steak buffet in Vegas. And, that's not what you want to do with your profile link. You want to have it be specific, hit your most important things. I would say your freebie or your value proposition kind of piece or whatever is first. And then under that, maybe your website, but which page? Your homepage? Well, you're coming from Instagram, so maybe you're hoping that people who are new, that maybe come off of an ad you run, will go to that second link, and maybe that's not to your homepage, but to your I'm New page, or to a specific landing page you made on your website for mobile to capture leads, to capture their email and offer them something cool just because they showed up. Think about how you're using those links in your bio, because you've got one link, but you can really expand it out to be a strategy. But part of your workflow needs to be that. Now, here's the other part. Let's say they go to your profile and they DM you, or maybe it comes from a story or something that you've asked, people to DM you, or do a poll or something like that you can do in stories, and it goes to your DMs. Now, here's where you have a chance to really be personal. This is where you can say, respond, talk to them, but also at the end, have some place for them to go. So if you think about the common people that will DM you, there'll be people that are just having fun. And then maybe the thing you send them after that, because you can send links in DMs. You can say, hey, this is really a cool, hey, have you seen this video we did on YouTube? Or did you go to this, check out this other post that we did on Instagram here that was really funny. Lead them through your content, give them something of value. Because responding is very valuable too. But if you can add that little extra touch, you're sending them off the platform. But when they're interacting with you personally, that's where you're sending off the platform stuff can become effective. Doing it from a post or doing it from your DMs, doing it from your stories, if you have the swipe up link. The swipe up link's pretty awesome, actually. But if you are trying to send them from your feed and say, go to the link in our bio and we'll go off of here, that typically doesn't work as much as that personal DM, like, hey, did you check this out? Because they have that for later as well. They don't have to come back to your profile to go to the link, to then click the button to go find the link, right? It's just right there. I open up Instagram, it's in my DMs, I can click it. So it's a nice way to get a little bit of traffic off of, off of DMs that actually bring some real value to your people. So then you respond simply, and Instagram also has this really great feature of like common, I forget what they call them, quick responses, I think, quick replies that you can set up. So for people, if you have other people working on your Instagram that are responding, and you want to make sure they're responding about when are we opening, do we have to wear masks, or you got student camp this week, when are they coming back, when did they leave, things like that. You can make those for everybody to be able to access, so they can just quick response. And it's a manual quick response, but you can access those in your DMs. So those can have links, those can have, directions, and make sure you get it right every time, so that when you have multiple people working with your Instagram, you've got a little bit of quality control going on. So that's an example workflow, but you may not like this may not be you, but whatever you're doing, have an idea of what you want to do. These are just my ideas. Moving on. So from there, what I want you to see is you're handing this workflow off to another tool. Okay. Instagram is a piece in moving people from one place to another. It is also a place where you've got people that just want to hang out on Instagram, make content for them, make feed posts for them, make stories for them. But if you've got a goal of getting people to move through a system, nothing kills that more than clicking the first step and there being nothing really of value there for them to care about. You've lost that person for a while. They won't trust that your click this link to go here is really valuable anymore. So in moving people off the platform, the in-person contact, to email, to text, to even a phone call, a Zoom call, something like that, can be really helpful if you're doing it personally. If you're going around in the DMs to try to talk to that person about it. You may get some off of the feed. It works some. Like I said, 21% of our traffic came from social, so it works some, but don't expect more than 21%. And don't act like it's the thing that sends people to your website. It's not. You have your pastor's newsletter that can do that. You have an email strategy. You have ads you can run. You have Google ads you can run. I mean, gosh, even off your posters, you can add QR codes and links and all kinds of stuff that people can just scan that can send people to your website, that can send your people places. So all those different areas of traffic are contributing to what you ultimately want to do with your communications, which hopefully is move people into community, move people into a relationship with Jesus, move people into a connected kind of way with your church. So moving them through your church is healthy. And I don't know that there's really a destination. And this is what I think is revolutionary right now with all these tools. is there's not really a destination you're trying to get them to go to. Like, because once they start volunteering, do you want them just to volunteer? Maybe they could step up and lead. Maybe they could start their own ministries. Maybe they can invite their friends. I mean, there's always things they can do. So you really just want people moving, churning through the whole of your church and getting the most out of it, because when we do that, hopefully, because of the way your church works, they're becoming a better Christian. They're becoming a positive force of light for the kingdom of God in the world. And that's what we want. Social media is a small part of making that happen. And we've got to stop overthinking its value and overthinking the content, because that content serves a purpose, and it's not where they're going to, I mean, I don't know of anybody, but if you do, hit me up in the comments. How many of you have seen people get saved on social media? I'd love to know that story. I haven't heard the one, but I'd love to know that story. But I have seen people's lives get impacted. I've seen ideas change. I've seen people start to come to church that previously didn't. So it can do some powerful things, but let's give it its proper place. All right. So moving on. Always be thinking of next steps. Always. There are definitely things we got to make for social media. It's kind of what I was just talking about, but be ready to take it to the next step and know what that is. And not just the next step like in your workflow, but the next step in their faith. Sometimes that takes a personal touch to know that. And that's why Instagram, I think, is incredibly powerful if we use those tools, because it's a lot of one-to-one communication if you're willing to take the time and do it, and it will really impact people's lives big time. All right. So that's it. That's all I wanted to share with you. Instagood, that's the hashtag for this show. You can find it everywhere that Instagood products are sold. So, okay. Moving along. Let's see. I hope that was helpful. I really don't know if it was. I hope that was helpful for you. So I want to say something before we get out of here, and just something kind of near and dear to my heart. And I know we're struggling. We are. We're seeing a lot of negativity, and we're frustrated and we're angry, and I feel it, man. I know we're all stressed and we're trying to figure things out. We're working harder than we probably ever have. And anytime you have to learn new things over and a lot, it's stressful. It's easy to keep things the way they are. And so I just want to encourage you guys and say that I see you and you're doing a great job. I do want to also say that before we say things on social, before we post, before we comment, before we share, we do need to think, to pause and ask, does this make me look like Jesus or not? And I think in how we talk to people right now is so important, so very important. And I'm disheartened by some of the things that I've read and seen in social media, especially in some of the church groups. And I would say that, yeah, we're all entitled to a difference of opinion, and opinions don't equal facts, but opinions can be, we can agree to disagree on things, and that's fine. So whatever your points of view, whatever your values are, yes, that we should respect those. We should respect people's opinions and our, the way that we talk to each other, but we should talk to each other with civil tone. We should never name call. We should never smear people. We should never treat people like they're stupid because they don't think the way that we do. They see the world differently than you. I see the world differently than you. I have a platform. You have a platform. Some platforms are bigger than others, but I'll say that the bigger your platform, the more of a responsibility you have to be this way, to really evenly and measure your responses and not simply react. I think that the church should be involved in conversations of the issues of the day. I think that we should speak into that. I really do. But I think we should speak into it with the purpose of showing the world who Jesus is and not showing the world how big of a butthead we can be. I think that when we do that, we actually do a lot of damage. We do. So I'm calling on you guys, because I know you'll do this, to just put some good in the world. Say your piece, make your point, but do it in a way that at the end of the day, you can hug each other and be family. That shows more about who Jesus is than being right often does. I think that there is some real room for improvement in that area. I wonder if you agree. If you do, feel free to sound off. That I think that we can do better. I think that we can do a lot better than what we've done. And I really don't care who you support. I don't care who you're voting for. You want to ask me who I'm voting for? I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I think about the guy who's currently in the office. I'll tell you all those things. But at the end of the day, I'm going to respect your opinion, even though I don't agree with it. And I'm never going to call you a name. I'm not going to call you an idiot. I'm not going to act like your faith is non-existent because you vote one way. That's not Christ-like. Not at all. And so I am asking for all of you to take a step back and really think about how we're behaving online, because we represent Jesus to the world. And there's more to Jesus. There's more to Jesus in addition to being right. There's compassion. There's kindness. There's gentleness. There's patience. There's self-control. You've read Galatians. So I'm asking everybody to take a step back, take a pause, think about it before you respond. So that's my speech. That's my spiel. So I hope that was helpful. It's not Instagram related, but I just felt like since I'm here, I should say that. So as we wrap up here today, it's going to be a short show today, but I do want to share with you one last moment. And I found this just to be absolutely amazing. One of the greatest moments in copywriting history, in my opinion, where because when you're reading the news, you can sometimes get stories that are just really, really funny. And this isn't a political news story, so you can relax. But this story is, oh my gosh. There's a moment in this story where the copywriting is just fantastic. It's a little crass, so I warn you now. If you have I'm just going to show it to you. Watch this moment of amazing copywriting history.
5:56 this morning. We've been waiting all morning for this story. A Michigan community has a serial pooping problem. Says it right there. It's true. Officials with the Buckingham Woods neighborhood pool in Macomb Township say someone keeps doing their deed in the pool, leading to that pool being closed. Now, their number one goal, despite it being a number two problem, is to stop it from happening. So they've hired someone to be on site all summer long. If you think you have a bad job. Police are also investigating, but right now they have no idea who is doing it.
You know what's really awful?
Oh my gosh. I guarantee that line was originally, if you think you have a crappy job, I guarantee that was what it was. They were like, no, that's too far. It's this moment right here. It's this moment, okay? Right at about 15, 16 seconds where you just put a crown on this guy and walk away right here.
Pool being closed. Now, their number one goal, despite it being a number two problem,
that is the best thing I've heard in so long. Oh my gosh. If you stayed with me this long, you're welcome. That is just fantastic copywriting. It is, it's a little on the nose, but man, we could totally use that kind of stuff right now. I think, when the news are like, you know what? Nobody's watching us anyway. Let's just write it, It's so good. I believe that was in Minneapolis or Minnesota somewhere. Gosh, that's so funny. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy the Insta Good Show. We're going to be back here again next week on Thursdays at about 1:15 Central, 2:15 Eastern Time. Thank you guys for watching so much. I really appreciate you. You're doing great. Keep getting better at Instagram. Get Insta Good at Instagram. And let me know if I can ever help you. You can hit me up at those places that I mentioned earlier. And I'd love to connect with you there. So we'll see you around. Have a good week. Bye.